We'll do that next week. That's a story for... Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tuesday Night TerrorVision. Etep Wakuyan, right back here with you at the place to be reviews. Where they're hard, ladies and gentlemen. I just really, can we do that again? No, we're live, pal. It's great to be here. Things go awry from time to time, like my camera really fucking with me right now and putting me in witless protection program. I didn't misspeak. I said witless because that pretty much describes your host, but not Mrs. Co-host. Trina, what's going on? Welcome.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to this review. I hope everybody's doing well, and happy Tuesday, TerrorVision.
Glad to have you as always, Trina. And we have some great guests here. We have, of course, Jesus, wrong camera. Holy shit. Wow. We're canceled. That's it. We're done. We're done.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. We do have Tyler Wooten coming back.
Yeah.
Jason joining him. Welcome, gentlemen. Tyler, good to have you back. Jason, welcome for the first time, sir.
It's great to be back, man. I like the entire time I've just been like, let's do it again. Because I noticed the first time I was definitely like a little bit more nervous. And even now I'm like, I hope I don't say the wrong thing. But I mean, it's good to be here.
Did you see what I just did to the intro? At that point, the pressure is off, bro. Don't even sweat it.
Yeah.
Good to have you, man. Good to have you, brother. And
great to be here.
A great friend of the channel. We met on, I think it was it Echo Base? Like, was it
Echo Base ages ago?
Like 3 or 4 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
And we've been on each other's channels, and we ranked the entire Friday the 13th franchise together. And he sent me an amazing picture of Kimberly Beck, Trish from Friday the 13th Part 4, autograph that says, "To Pete, you son of a bitch," from Kimberly. J-Man is here. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me on. I'm looking forward to this one.
Absolutely, man. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you. Yeah, we folks are talking about the 1981 horror slasher. I don't want to call it a classic. It is amazing schlock, though, and that's what we love here. It's fun, and it is just everything that you would look for in a movie from 1981 that desperately wanted to be Friday the 13th.
Right.
Absolutely.
And Halloween without being any of those things, but there's many hidden gems in this movie, and one of them is, we'll talk about it, though. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to discuss The Burning. So,
You gotta love that 80s music, man.
Yes,
that was good.
Yes, dude, that like early like synth kind of score. It's kind of like Don Coscarelli and Phantasm.
Yep.
Very eerie,
Oh yeah.
that mausoleum sounding like pipe organ type with that synth underlay to it. I really, really fucking liked it. I was like, oh shit. So I'll just guide us through this thing, and we can talk about this, because as I mentioned off air, I meant to just do a brief outline of the movie, and I wrote 5 pages, handwritten, folks. I don't type unless I'm doing the outline for the Monday night shows or, an actual video script. I like to handwrite these reviews. And so we open at Camp Blackfoot, which I immediately in my head, because I'm like, Camp Blackfoot, I'm like, is this a tie to Mr. Deeds? But no. So we have the 5 Utes. I love the 5 Utes. The Utes, they're sitting around the fire and they're plotting to pull the biggest prank in the history of Camp Blackfoot it's ever seen. And they're going to scare the fuck out of that creepy old fucker Cropsy, who is the camp's caretaker for those of you who are the uninitiated. And the owner.
Thank you for telling me that. I didn't catch what he was. I thought he was just someone who was there.
Yeah, he's the caretaker. I'm like,
Right.
but he's the name Cropsy. I said, he's the owner of one of the only names in horror that would preemptively warrant killing him based upon name only. Meet somebody named Michael Myers. You're like, okay, how you doing, Mike?
Right.
Jason Voorhees. Nice to meet you, Jason. Even Freddy Krueger. Oh, Fred.
What's
nice
up,
to
Fred?
meet you,
Right.
But Cropsy.
I think his parents knew, they foresaw that his life would turn into this sort of, wrong turn here.
They set him up for failure.
Yeah, they
really
certainly did.
set
Yeah.
him up for failure. Speaking of wrong turn, I mean, when you first see him, he kind of looks like one of even before the burns, he looks
Right.
like people from Wrong Turn.
He looked like I think he looked like One Eye the most, because like he had like that look, and I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, why is this guy even here? And I also made it a point to like mention like the prank. Is that a prank? What they pulled?
We'll get to the prank, but yeah, like, okay, we mentioned this in the Madman review with the cook, who was a complete fucking scumbag. Like, what is it about these camps in the 80s? There was no vetting process. They're
Right.
like, hey, you look like somebody who would probably try to lure a kid into a van with no fucking windows and has about 8 outstanding warrants. You want to come be the caretaker at this camp where there's all kinds of kids?
Yeah. I'm wondering what kind of pranks were played, because if this was what they were doing to top, like, what was the previous prank? Because they're like, that guy lost his arm in the last prank. We better really, up this a bit more. Like we're talking about the pranks, but we don't know what pranks came before. Maybe there've been some really crazy ones in this one.
Yeah. We'll fucking set the caretaker on fire. Last year we killed we sacrificed their youngest child to Moloch. There's a callback to that.
And that was pretty cool. So how do we do better than that?
Yeah, we got him, guys. Yeah, we got him.
Yeah, fuck this guy. Yeah.
They're just sitting around thinking of it, and they're like, you know what? Just set him on fire. Yeah. Well, even though it's not what they meant to do, but like.
Right.
Yeah, he must have been such a jerk for them to, like, they really hated him. They were like, fuck this guy. This guy sucks.
Well,
so you got to wonder, like, what led up to this.
Yeah, they mentioned while they were, like, talking about it, they were like, they said that he hit someone and that he's been, like, stalking, like, one of the girls there. So, I mean, I get their reason, but at the same time...
There's a judicial system for things like that. Well, I mean, not anymore. I mean, fuck, I went shopping at Home Depot last week and didn't spend a dime, and I walked out with never mind. I'm just kidding.
Meanwhile, I went to Home Depot and spent like almost $300 on fucking paint.
Oh, dude. Okay, we're not going to get off on home improvement.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's your home improvements going to be.
This is Tuesday Night TerrorVision Home Improvement Tips with Etep and Tyler. Now, if you're trying to pick a paint scheme for your murder room, you want to make sure it's stain resistant.
Right.
And Scotch guard your furniture. So they sneak out. The boys, they sneak out of their cabin, and there's 5 of them. And the one, was it Todd? Was it the Todd character
Todd's the one who is the counselor later on.
Yeah. And he snuck into the house in Cropsy's place, and he's got the box because they don't show what's in the box. They don't show until he pulls out, and the reveal is it's a fucking skull with candles in the eye sockets and worms and shit. They light it, and old Cropsy is there banging on the fucking. This guy he's got to be shit faced because
Absolutely.
trust me, I know that kind of sleep, and that is you are fucking wasted sleep right there. Like you do not want to get up. And he was like, "No, fam." And then they pounding on the fucking windows like it was the movie Thanksgiving. There's another callback to an early episode of the show. I'm full of these tonight. And he finally wakes up and he sees the skull and he freaks the fuck out and kicks it, and the whole ass house is on fire like that. I mean, that shit is just
like
engulfed.
Yeah.
Did we also notice where the hell did they get a skull that looked like that? Like that looks like an actual corpse skull.
That's my thing. I'm like, was that supposed to be fucking a legit skull? Like, did these little fuckers murder somebody and set this skull aside? Like they said it was going to be the best prank ever. So they're obviously willing to commit murder. They lit this bastard on fire. It's commitment to the gimmick that I appreciate.
Yeah, go out and dig up a grave and cause a felony,
Could be.
Just for the prank.
Right?
Yeah, just for a prank.
I'm betting he was drunk though, and there's booze around, because it literally erupts into flame, and you're like, yes. I think they're trying to get to the fact that this guy was just pissed drunk, and there's booze around or alcohol or something, because it flamed up, and it is kind of his own fault, I guess, by knocking it, but they put it there, so whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm thinking probably if he wasn't blackout, from being wasted, he probably wouldn't have reacted that way or went up in flames.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a camp counselor who's wasted. I kind of sympathize with the kids on this one.
Right. Sometimes a problem can be solved through diplomacy, and sometimes you have to put a flaming skull in it and just hope its drunk ass kicks it over and burns itself to fucking death and runs out of the fucking house with some of the oh god screams I've ever heard. It looked like the front of the Israeli embassy, bro. This guy was flamed up, fucking fell down the hill, and they're
just super thick, just covered in his flame suit.
Yeah.
It was great. Fun fact about that was actually Savini himself who was doing that. Yeah.
He turned down part 2. He turned down Friday 2 for this particular film. He didn't believe in the concept of Jason resurrecting because that nullifies the entire first film. The point is that the mom didn't go back to check that he's really dead or whatever. You know what I mean? It seems silly.
Yeah.
So he didn't like that. So he's like, I'll do the burning. And I guess he came back for part 4, but I guess he guessed wrong in this case. But
I mean, that was a fucking awesome fire stunt.
It was.
I made sure to take note of that.
It's especially for the time. Because this was probably shot in 79, 80 in that.
Something like that.
You're pulling a fire stunt like that. I mean, that's pretty fucking rad for that time.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So they just said they're just up the top of the hill. They're like, I'm Peter Paul. That's between y'all. Fuck it. I'm out. I'm gone. We're gonna leave this motherfucker. He's just down there. He's done. He's done.
No one will ever know.
Yeah, the skull also with the candles in the eyes too. My first thing that I thought of was Terrifier, and I kind of wondered if they got the inspiration for the head carved out like a pumpkin came from this.
It's possible. Yeah,
I don't know if Etep has seen the Terrifier ones yet since we last talked.
I haven't got to watch them yet, and it's I've been telling the old lady, I was like, we gotta watch these. We gotta watch these.
I'll set you up. There's other ones too, because there's the All Hallows Eve, and then there's a short film. So I've got all those. I can loan you.
Yes, perfect. That would be perfect. That would be perfect. So we're 1 week later after Cropsy's unfortunate accident. per insurance purposes, it was an accident.
Correct. Yeah.
He's at St. Catherine's Hospital, which we have this is probably the funniest scene in the entire fucking movie. The stereotypes are just hitting you right in the mouth here. It's like Mike Tyson just wham, take that, Wobbin, wham. So you get the black guy who is like early 80s, late 70s. Yeah, man, he's still got that jive, like black kind of stereotype. And then the white guy's like, oh gosh, oh no, I don't want to be scared, kind of, like
Yep.
milk toast ass. I bet you this motherfucker's name was my name's Filbert. My name is Filbert. That's his name, and mayonnaise is spicy to him. I do a better white stereotype than the black
I don't even
comics
listen to music. I sit in silence in every car drive because I like to see the world as it is.
Jesus. I like to absorb the pretty scenery, and that's all. The trees are enough for me. God damn it, the birds are singing. That's God's music, you fucking heathens.
Bedtime is at 7:30.
7:30.
Sharp.
I pee through the hole in my pajamas. I don't even know why.
Why waste the time?
it just seems like something this guy would do. So So Funk's old brother takes corny white dude. Want to be a doctor, don't you, man? It's gonna be the scariest thing you ever seen, man. And they go in there and he unzips and it's Bubble Boy from Seinfeld. No, I'm just kidding. He grabs the fucking dude's arm, like and then dun dun dun, the title card, the bird. That scene was fucking great. I was like dying ass laughing during that. I was like, holy shit! Like, are they gonna like really throw in like comedy in this now? Is this supposed to be like this? I was like, no, man. It's just looking at it through that lens of like, oh my holy stereotypes, Batman. Did I write this? Like, this is like something I would have written yesterday. But no, it was funny. And then we go to the
I like how he has no bandages. Like, shouldn't he be wrapped up? Like, why is his arm? It's like you're like,
Yeah, he would have been like in one of those oxygen tanks or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, considering how toasted he was, yeah.
Yeah, a burn unit with stuff like that.
It's basically for the people who haven't seen the movie, think Darkman. It's basically Darkman.
Yeah.
Like the trench coat hat, but the burn, the way he's all melted up, and it's like they're not wrapping him up. I mean, he would be continuously wrapped. My buddy burnt his hand a little bit here. That wrap was on forever. You have to keep changing it. Never mind your entire body.
Yeah.
Right. Like and this, they're just like, nah, we'll let some air get to it. He's fine.
Yeah, he's good. He's
you gotta air it out.
It's been a week.
Yeah. So that then they're like, after like the title card, they're like wheeling him out to the front, and they're telling him like, all this stuff. Like, first off, let go of your anger because of how you look now.
Yeah.
First off, what? And then the next one was the skin grass wouldn't take. So I don't know what to tell you. So
fuck me, right?
Yeah.
What else was it? Like,
that was a great scene.
Yeah, what was it said? It's like, sorry, sir, but you're gonna have to live the rest of your life looking like a piece of
chewed up gum. Yeah. That's what I
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what you get when you pay. That's what you pay for, I guess. I don't know how to suck up
His HMO was not helping him out.
No.
His insurance. I mean, I did see this guy's copay.
Well, he had been in the hospital for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
He better call Lee Steinberg, man. You can call one of my cousins, represent him in court, get some of that money back. You can pay them hospital bills. Talking about a J.G. Wentworth. It's my money and I need it now.
Well, you had enough money left over to go get a prostitute. It turned into Maniac.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
first thing.
The first thing.
Man, I just got thrown down a hill. I've been in this hospital for 5 years. Skin grass didn't take. I look like a piece of chewed up bubble gum underneath the junior high desk. I'm going to go get a hooker.
Yeah.
Why not? And by the way, she did not look like a hooker. She looked like someone who works in an office. If no one caught that.
Yeah.
I know. I said I thought the same thing. I was like, this doesn't look right. And that whole scenario seemed so out of the movie. Like it didn't.
Absolutely.
It didn't, yeah, right. And like it didn't seem like it fit.
That's not his modus operandi.
Yeah.
It's a Maniac. It looks like Maniac. Like immediately
Yep.
This movie has a lot of weird elements to it where they're trying to make it different enough to be like, well, it's not just a Friday ripoff, but they're adding elements that feel weird. Even some of the editing's weird. Like they'll show scenes like this scene probably should have been later or before. Like, I don't know. It's a little bit weird the way they structured it. And like, he comes out, immediately he murders that woman. And then it's like a gap of like an hour before really any more bloodshed. But anyway, so like we'll get to it. But like it's like he's got the trench coat. Like they wheel him out of the hospital in a full giallo killer outfit, like ready to go. Like it's like, okay, here you go. Here, like, Tenebrae or Bird with the Crystal.
Your complimentary fedora.
He has to kill someone. He's dressed for it. Like he's and he's got the weapons.
He looks like he's dressed the exact same way the killer in Pieces is. If you've seen like
Pieces. It's that. That's
It's the black trench coat and it's that fucking.
It's
hat.
the giallo. It's the giallo Italian horror movie slasher killer outfit. They all wear that, the gloves and all. And I'm like, what is this? This is like a weird hybrid or something. I guess the director had watched all the Dario Argento films or something and thought, well, I'm gonna do my little take on it. But Pieces is another one. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This motherfucker looks like the Man in Black from the goddamn Revenge of Michael Myers. I'm like, the Cult of Thorn was responsible for this too?
No, but he doesn't have the cowboy boots though.
Yeah, he did not have the boots.
That would have made it really cool with the spur. He could have done like some spur.
Like, why not? He's already got the rest of the gimmick. I mean, he flips his hat back, he kicks his eyes back in his head like the Undertaker and shit. Hey, God damn it. My phone just vibrated. There's an angry wall of text from Trina. I mentioned wrestling.
You can mention Undertaker. I like Undertaker.
It's like you start talking about Doink the Clown. That's where I draw the line. So we go back to camp. We got to go back to camp. And this is where we meet a very young, very head full of hair George Costanza and Jason Alexander. I was like, it's the Summer of George. It was supposed to be the Summer of George. And they're watching the girls play softball, and very, very 80s, like kind of exploitative type behavior by the guys. I mean, it's like
teenagers.
This is like, this is 80s. This is the 80s. Okay. And
butts.
Poor Tiger chases a ball into the woods. And I know those of you out there thinking that there's no way a young lady would have the first name Tiger. Actually, my wife has a cousin with her first name is Tiger. So that is and there's also a few other feline names in that part of the another long story, but that is a real name. So Tiger almost meets an early demise. And I really like Cropsy Vision.
It's all blurry and on the sides.
Yeah, that looks like that's like the look I saw right before I passed out after being roofied. But somehow he doesn't pass out. But notice I didn't say I roofied anybody. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. But no.
Wait, here's a question. I got a question though. Did anyone pick up, because it's a different camp name, and I've seen this movie many times. And I've never been able to pinpoint a line of dialogue that suggests that it's the same camp renamed, like how they did the part 6 where they renamed Crystal Lake.
Because didn't say anything.
Yeah, like why is Cropsy going to a different camp? B go like the implications of that narration is that don't seek revenge, which means he's going to seek revenge. Don't go after those kids, which means he's going after those kids. Yet none of them are there. How would he know that they're there? It's not like Jason, who lived in that camp grounds and,
Yep.
you know, kind of, you know, made his way and survived there because he was used to it. This guy physically, first he tries to get the prostitute, doesn't work. I wonder what would have happened if it did work out. Maybe he wouldn't have had the movie. But then he goes to the camp, and it's like, why are you going to a different camp? Unless it's renamed, but I cannot find a piece of dialogue which says it's been renamed. I don't know if we're just assuming that, because why would he go to a different camp? But they clearly, if they're clearly mentioning it on a title card saying this is the camp, okay, why is he? And I'm like, I'm writing my notes too. I'm like, wait, this ain't Blackfoot. What the hell is this? Why is he going here? So that was weird.
I wrote back at Camp Blackfoot, and then I'm like, oh shit, this is a different camp. So I went back and I scribbled it out.
You know, yeah,
I did. I'm like, I thought it was the same fucking camp for a minute.
Where is he going?
So I have a theory on that, and they should have explained it better, because it wouldn't be that hard. So do you remember in the beginning, the guy is talking about he's telling the campfire story about Cropsey.
Yep.
Did you recognize the guy that's telling the story?
I believe in the first section when they're first telling the story, that is the Todd character. That was the kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, I mean, it seems evident when you think about it, but not evident in the movie, that Cropsey does some research and finds out that there was a survivor. Well, you know, one of the kids that was at the camp where he survived the fire. He finds out where that kid is a counselor now.
Right.
But that's not.
He's logically going after who he can get to first. It's easy to get this guy because I know where he is, right?
Yeah, the movie, they don't connect those dots at all.
They could have easily said in that campfire scene saying, this camp used to be called Blackfoot, and they changed the name because of what happened. What happened?
That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, what a dumb career move. Seriously, pulled a prank, went wrong. Can't class. Sorry.
I think he's atoning. You know, it's like he's atoning. It was like Sleepaway Camp 3. If anyone sees Sleepaway Camp 3, with the father of the guy who got killed in Sleepaway Camp Part 2, he's in Part 3. He's like, oh, I came here. I was supposed to go with my son. I didn't go. So maybe he's like, I effed the camp up. I did all this bad stuff. Now I want to give back to the community. And I think we've just thought about this a little bit more than the filmmakers. So we can still be Etep, you've written more notes than they did.
This was their thought process for that. Okay, they're like, all right, now stick with me. See, we got props. See, he needs to go back to. Hang on a second. So he needs to go back to the camp, right? How does he get back to the camp? Why does he go back to the other camp? Well, let me tell you why he goes back to the camp. There's another counselor there that used to be at the other camp to set him on fire. See, and then he's gonna kill a bunch of people with gardening shears. It'll be great.
Yeah, that's actually on the special features of the Blu-ray. They've got the entire boardroom scene of how they concocted the script, and that was actually part of it. So
yeah, it would not surprise me from that, given that time period.
I'm gonna make a mash cut. I swear to God, I'm gonna make a mash cut of Etep just because he's done that in 3 years so far.
Great.
I think I have. That's like how all these early 80s horror movie pitch meetings went. It was like cocaine, whiskey at 10 in the morning, right. And by noon they had an entire movie, a storyboard setup. But so we're in the mess hall now. We go to the mess hall, and Karen has really bad taste in men. Karen has terrible taste in men.
Yeah.
And Eddie is... this cast has, and I didn't get a chance to look at the actors' names, but there's so many actors I recognize them from this age that would go on to play in so many other things outside of obviously George Costanza. But the Eddie character and the one that got his fingers cut off on the
Woodstock.
raft.
That's Fisher Stevens from Short Circuit. Johnny Five.
Oh
yeah.
Shit. Wait. He's the dude that played the Arab character?
Yeah,
the Indian
he was in
Indian guy.
Hackers. He was in Hackers with Angelina Jolie and all
I
that.
haven't seen Hackers since it came. I went to see it in the theater. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. This cast, though, it's like it's a fucking veritable who's who of like C-list. That guy was like the background, or you know what I mean? That's what it was.
Well, there were a few actors in this movie that got their debut from this movie.
Wasn't Holly Hunter one of them?
What's that?
Wasn't Holly Hunter one of them?
Yep, she was one of them.
Did you not know that?
Yeah, I was.
I didn't.
There was Holly Hunter, and then there was a couple others. I wrote them down, and now I can't find it in my notes.
Yeah, she was Sophie. I don't remember all the characters' names off by heart.
Yeah.
The main counselor girl, she's from Bloodsport. She was Van Damme's girlfriend in Bloodsport, with a reporter who was covering the Kumite for the martial arts guys out there. Who else was in? There's a few. Those are the only ones I recognize off the bat, though. Oh, this guy was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, great movie. Yeah. Another fact about this movie is this movie kicked off the Weinstein's careers.
Harvey.
It was Miramax. And years later, wouldn't you know it, he would meet a woman that would change his life by the name of Jennifer Lawrence. And they would have a child. I mean,
oh, dear.
Totally not Harvey's baby. And then after the mess hall, we go to what I could only describe as the first thing we see is Dan Schneider from Nickelodeon somehow was like, let's start the scene off with a shot of a teenager's foot. Let's do that. Because that's immediately you cut to a foot. I'm like, Dan fucking Schneider. God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah.
So, and we're in the girls' cabin and they're waking up. Yes, another one, Quentin Tarantino. It was not Selma Hayek, though, which, I mean, beggars can't be choosers. So we're in the cabin, and the girl, Sally, it's funny because, like, I'd have to, like, wait till, like, the scene would get going, and they'd have to figure out what their names were. But Sally's got the Rolling Stones t-shirt on, I think it was, wasn't it? A Stones t-shirt, the white, yeah.
Yep, I think so.
To the shower. Yeah. She's going to the shower, and she thinks Michelle's in there, but it's the nerd from Police Academy who plays
Skater Kid.
Yeah, Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol, and who was also joined in that by a very young David Spade. But we have Alfred is his name in this, and he was spying on her, and I wrote in my notes, like Harvey Weinstein. Oh, God damn it. This is, I was like, holy fucking, like, yep, another 80s, like, oh, it's okay. He's just peeping on a girl in the shower. That's totally fine. Socially acceptable. It's fine. It's fine.
They walk that entire thing off really easily. It's like, they're just messing around. Okay. And then she doesn't care herself after 5 minutes. It's like, okay.
Right.
And then, Glazer will beat him up or whatever. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like the counselor, Michelle, the female counselor, she was the most upset about it. And Sally was like, no, she's fine after like a minute. It's weird. So weird.
Yeah, it was just very, very fun. And then you have, I have right here, it says obligatory tits. And again, that was, it's like, they did it and I'm never going to be one to complain about tits. All right. I'm not in a horror movie, but I'm just like, okay, you already showed the tits once. We cut away to another scene and then we go back to the tit shot and then back to the neck, then it advances. Right. I'm like, did we really need to go back twice? Like I said, not complaining,
yes,
but
I think we did because there wasn't enough lather.
Right. It's like she had to put more shampoo in the hair, more Pantene Pro V in the hair to get that lustrous shine and the full body and bounce that you only get with
we're getting the Alfred experience. We're supposed to be identifying with Alfred. That's why that's happening. That's what you didn't pick up on that, but that's okay.
He's like, you ever been in the shower with another man and seen the suds run down the crack? Never mind. So Alfred is a sexual deviant, and he's kind of a soft ass little bitch too. But apparently everybody at this point we haven't met him yet, but everybody's afraid of Jay Glazer, which I've seen Jay Glazer on Fox Sports. He's just kind of a short little fat dude, bald head and a goatee. I wouldn't really be afraid of him, but that's not this Glazer. No. That's not Jay Glazer from Fox Sports. No, he threatens to beat Alfred, except Todd said, if you do anything, I'll bust in or around your ass. Because apparently busted makes him feel good.
Yes. I found Glazer to be a kind of a cool bully because he didn't seem that out of line. Like you're like, well, I don't know. I think I would beat that kid up. Like that's pretty weird. Usually the weird kids in these films don't actually do anything that weird. You're usually on their side and be like, yeah, this kid's being weird. You're like, but Alfred is doing weird things that are, you know, this isn't acceptable in a cute, fun way. Like it is weird. And then Glazer is like, he's not that unreasonable. And he's kind of an interesting character. And they gave him a little bit of depth. You know, he's with the girl. You can see he's really nice, and then he can't, you know, or whatever, right? He can't satisfy.
We'll get to that,
I guess. But like, but they're establishing good character. The thing with this movie, I don't want to say it's not better than Friday the 13th, but like the characters are more established and more unique quicker. Like I'm immediately like, okay, yes, I remember. Yeah, that's Alfred. There's you know, Jason Alexander's the comedy guy. I can get you stuff. What do you need? You know, and like everybody's defined very quickly in very little screen time. It's like one or two, like one scene. You're like, okay, I understand this character. Okay, I understand this character.
Yep.
They did a good job of establishing all those characters very quickly that you kind of, even if you don't care about them, you're like, well, if they die, you're like, oh, you know, kind of that guy was kind of neat, you know, he's dead. Oh, you know, versus like some of these other slashers where I literally couldn't care less. I just want them all to die fast. They did establish them in a way that felt like they were trying. Maybe they didn't have the budget to have many kills, but they're like, if we don't have a lot of kills, at least we can give you some fun antics. Like I found the antics to be more fun in this one than they were in like Sleepaway Camp 1 or Friday 1 or Friday 2, even though I love Friday 2. But anyway, Glazer, I thought he was a pretty good character. Like mostly the bullies are like, I hate this guy. I want to see this guy die badly. But I'm like, I kind of like Glazer. He's cool.
No, he's okay. Well, he does have there's a downside to Glazer, which we'll cover in the romp in the woods, which is very reminiscent of a Danny Steinman Friday the 13th Part 5 scene, which I see a lot of parallels there.
Right.
But so we're in the mess hall still, and you got George Costanza and the Van Buren boys. Those of you who know the Van B boys. They're trying to encourage Al. Oh no, we're on the dock now. They're trying to encourage him to swim. They're gonna get him to swim, and then I said, Crazy Joe Davola just fucking throws him in the water. There's another Seinfeld reference. I'll stop with those. I know not everybody's gonna get the Seinfeld references, but no, Glazer throws him in the water, and the Van B boys and Costanza, they shoot Glazer in the ass with a pellet gun while he's out on the raft with all the girls. And he's trying to, you know, show out there. And the girls are kind of smack talking him.
Yeah.
They're like talking shit about him, like calling basically like a fucking meathead and shit like that. Like, you know, they were like just running him into the fucking ground. You know, the cackling hens over there. You know. But,
that's why he's a sympathetic bully a little bit, because he take like they're shooting him with BB like this, like. He's not just overpowering everybody and just beating them up and just, you know, being an ass. It's like he's getting hits. The girls are making fun of him. He gets hit in the BB gun. They throw him in. You're like, oh man, it's just. I felt like there's just more antics. It's not like he's like such a mean person. It's more like this is just the antics of camp.
Look, you have to choose a side in this movie. You're either Team Glazer or Team Alfred. That's it. You got to choose a side.
That's
a tough one.
The narrow dogmatic views of the Jedi are not acceptable in this case, Trina. But no, it is. And I looked at Glazer like, so they shot him in the ass, but then you go back to the cabin scene and they're all fucking hanging out together, like Alfred and Glazer and Costanza. And Woodstock and Snoopy and Linus and Peppermint Patty, they're all hanging out in the cabin, and but it's like, so it goes to your point, J-Man, that they're not like, he's not somebody like, there's those serious moments like where Todd was getting up in his shit, like you think he's really gonna beat the fuck out of him. He's like, you're real fucking tough until you come up to some of your own size. And Glazer kind of like backs down. So it's like, he knows, like, okay, I'm not gonna, this motherfucker's the bigger swinging dick in the fucking clubhouse. I'm not gonna fuck with him. But he's not completely like you said, bullying these other guys into oblivion where they can't even be around him because they're all kind of hanging out together. And but this is because you get the Costanza. He's dispensing porn and stock quotes. Sorry, that's another Seinfeld reference. They're porn quotes, if you're wondering at home. But he's giving him like porn, and then he gives Glazer the rubbers. He's like, these are supposed to be lubricated.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't buying them.
Yeah.
It's like eBay. This is like eBay. I want a refund. This is the 80s eBay or whatever.
To be fair, no fucking human being on earth would ever, in his right mind, unless he absolutely fucking had to, would use a non-lubricated fucking condom ever in the history of the world. Ever. Fucking, where's my, wait a second. Wait. I've got to do it. I'm going all the way. We're going over to Monday night because I have a GIF over here. Never.
Jeez,
ever use a fucking non-lubricated condom. My God. Why don't you just rub your dick in sandpaper? Jesus Christ. I mean, God, even if, never mind. I'm not going to get into the physics of it. I'm Ben Shapiro, the Ben Shapiro Show.
Oh, dear.
I will refrain. There's a lady present, even though she's already heard the entire shtick. And there's another angry wall of text. I'm sorry, Trina. It wasn't even a wrestling. It wasn't even the wrestling reference, Trina.
No, but you played that clip. That was
ever. Does he also do the Stone Cold one? What?
I have that. I do.
Oh, I can't stand the audience doing what. It makes me barf every time.
It's as bad. It's as bad as this is awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, the motherfucker just stepped into the ring. Shut up.
Yeah, nothing's happened. Anyway,
no more wrestling. Sorry, Trina.
I was literally just about to. I'll take a bet here on my own side of the computer.
So Cropsy is outside the cabin, and through Cropsy vision, we can tell he's pissed about the non-lubricated condoms as well. Because those would have come in handy with that hooker that he murdered, who looked like she just worked in a fucking office. All right, so Costanza is trying to get the girl, tell her, he's like, hey, I got spermicide too for sale. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, what else has he got? He's like, I got diaphragms. I got spermicide. I got those old school douchebags you'd see hanging in the fucking shower. It looked like a whoopee cushion. I got those too.
And then he has the balls to say, "What am I, Masses and Johnson?" Which came before Johnson and Johnson. It's like, yeah, you are a pharmacy.
You kind of are. We get a fake out though with Woodstock goes back to his cabin to get his vitamin E, and that Todd you get a Todd fake out there with that. But again, Cropsy vision, he was watching, and the synth cue lets us know that Cropsy is near. He's like Sting in the rafters, Trina.
Yep, I know.
Mad
rafters. I get it.
So we got the canoe trip. They're getting ready to go on the Murder Mountain canoe trip. Or what was it? Devils. It was Devils something.
Devils.
Was it? It was Devils something.
Devils.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
But
it had devil
Whatever.
in it.
But this outside, I gotta go Vince Russo, bro. Outside, bro. The movie Deliverance, bro. You never get another cinematic banjo sequence like this in your life, bro. a cinematic sequence with banjos and a splash fight that goes on for entirely way too long. Like they could have cut that shit in half. It's like, okay, we're having fun. We get the point. Let's move on. We have more to do. I'm sure this time would be well spent elsewhere.
They got to make their 90-minute. Got to make their feature length mark.
And they did. They stayed right in that target 90 minutes. It was
they got there. Perfect.
They brought it home. So they had their splash fight. And they're sitting around the campfire, and this is Todd's telling the story of Cropsy and how he got lit on fire and burned alive, and he kind of embellishes a little bit. You know, he's adding a little in there, and then out comes Eddie dressed in a mask. I was like, how the fuck they got a Cropsy mask already? I'm like, God damn. But jumps out in like a mask, and you know, they have the jump scare part. Which it was a kind of, it was like, okay, this is kind of a very cool Friday the 13th 2 scene.
Yeah.
I'm glad Todd feels guilty enough to not exploit the story, but anyways,
yeah,
I don't feel that bad about it. You're using it as a tale.
Yeah, it's like this motherfucker. He's basically like a serial killer, just hiding in plain sight. You know, it's like just telling these kids, we killed this motherfucker about 5 years ago. Shit. It wasn't even long. That was like 5 years ago. We burned this motherfucker alive.
Yeah, it's fine now. He's got medicine, and it's fine.
They told him not to hold a grudge. It's good. We're all good. We had high tea yesterday.
They should have removed that voiceover made it even more silly. Don't hold a grudge. Don't go after them at a new camp. Don't hunt them down. Don't use hedge clippers. They should have just give you the whole foreshadow of the whole movie.
Yeah.
I so want to re-edit that and put Loomis's voice over it. The darkest eyes I'd ever seen. It's just do the Loomis voiceover on that. So we get back to our star-crossed lovers, Eddie and Karen, and they're in the woods, and Eddie is he's pushing hard to get some here. Eddie wants some coos. Eddie needs some coos, huh? And he suggests they go skinny dipping, which in horror movies never ends badly. And he goes in
always
first.
Gotta do it.
Yep, you got to.
It's never. No.
It was great in the Friday the 13th. Was that part 4 with the Doublemint twins? That was part 4 with the Doublemint twins. But here we get Karen, and in all its goddamn glory, and I hate to make this reference, but her goddamn bush was bigger than my goatee.
That's why he uses hedge clippers.
Holy! I know why Cropsy has the fucking shears now.
They call me Cropsy for a reason.
Shit. I was like, this brings back horrible memories of finding my dad's stash of porn when I was like 8 years old and going like, open it up and go, but no, that was
no, you didn't. Don't lie.
I was confused. I'm like, what the fuck? It's under there.
It's kind of hot. But I'll just cover it with my hand. This is better.
I'm like this is, but I'm so many questions. It's like, hey, this is the problem with being, a child in the 80s. You had to deal with that. Never mind. That's another stream. It's a Patreon exclusive. We get into the deep dive of my fucked up psyche and the fact that I bought 2 therapists vacation homes in Hamptons and Martha's Vineyard, respectively. Neither here nor there, folks. I'm doing fine. I'm well adjusted now. They said I needn't hold grudges or go after those kids.
Right.
So Todd, wait, where are we at here? Oh, so they're skinny dipping, and Karen is not supposed to get her bush wet after midnight, but it's only in the evening. No, it won't multiply if she gets it wet.
We were just talking about that movie earlier too.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't even write that.
Off the top, just like your kid saying, it's the lifeguard.
Yeah. That's what him getting in trouble for the Friday the 13th school. A shirt to school, his principal. Isn't that a something you shouldn't wear to
Offensive?
school? No, he's the hero in a movie called The Lifeguard. It's fine. Like, God damn it, Trey. Oh, man. Fight the system. So they're getting a little frisky in the water here, a little hanky panky, and Fast Eddie is moving too fast for Karanos, and he tells her this is really the way to endear yourself after being jilted, but you can tell she likes him, but he just pissed her off. Fuck you then. It's like oh my God, this guy's definitely Italian.
Yep. Yep.
That's an Italian. Mustafangu, you fucking whore. My guma's better than you anyway, you fucking bitch. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. You fucking, who's gonna pay for your fucking hair and your nails now, Karen?
He even slapped the water at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the most obnoxious character, actually.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
No redeeming qualities, literally, whatsoever. Even when we come to the part where they're in peril, I fucking never liked this character from the moment you meet him. This guy's a fucking prick. He just is. So she's looking for her clothes in the woods, and I can see why you don't want to get brush in your bush. And she's finding her.
He looked up. He's like,
thank God she finds her undergarments and her white shirt. And who the fuck wears a white button-up shirt on a canoe trip? Like, I mean, like a flannel, I can understand. They look like a fucking like dress shirt. I'm just like, this is totally not a fucking. And I'm somebody who kayaks a lot. I'm like, this is not like what you wear. But anyway, she, in the process of retrieving her clothes, Karen meets her demise, and her throat gets cut. And the next morning, Todd and I said blonde lady, which I would learn her name is Michelle. They're asking Eddie, where the hell is she? She was with you last night, and she didn't come back. And you can tell Eddie's like, oh fuck, like, what the hell? And he tells him, I don't know. I told her to fuck off, and she didn't want to get down on it.
I think she actually fucked off.
She literally fucked off. And yeah, so and then we have Todd has the brilliant idea. Oh wait. I'm sorry. I skipped over. Cropsy took all 5 canoes, like just alakazam. They're gone. Like all 5 canoes. Like this motherfucker is a ninja. Like in addition to being Dark Man,
he's wearing the fucking trench coat. He's kind of like hidden. So
is the trench coat really? Is that like good river wear though? Like if you're trying to be like stealth, and the way they shot, because I want to get to this, the way the scene with the raft is shot, the raft attack scene where they find the canoe, the way that's shot, because they don't really show his ensemble. Like they just, you get like, it's a black, like blotted out by the sun overview, and then various slashes, the jump cuts. But Glazer, okay. This is the one issue, and Glazer does, he's layered, and you do kind of like him, but I said he pushes up on Sally like a Nickelodeon casting agent. Like I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, this dude, like, I'm like, he is basically, it is like, you can tell this is a Weinstein movie. Right. Holy shit, he was telling on himself in 81. Like, he's like, treat him like we do in the casting office. And the guy's like, okay, boss.
Okay.
Like, that was basically it. Like, holy fuck, dude. Like, I mean, I think she said no like 4 times and finally relented, because if not, I mean, apparently this guy didn't give a fuck. I was like, Jesus. It was like borderline, like, I got not as bad, but like the rape scene in I Spit on Your Grave. Like, my wife and I are watching that with my dad. We're watching this movie. I did not know. I'd never seen the original. We're watching it, and we're all sitting there in this uncomfortable silence, just like, do we fast forward it? Like, I don't. This is really. I'm like, okay, we've all acknowledged it. We're just going to sit here and wait. And yeah, so Alfred's watching this too. Alfred's watching this go on. And it's, again, you creepy little fucking prick. Like, again, I don't feel sympathy for this guy because, like, number one, he's simping on the Sally chick, which she's fucking kind of, she was a cutie. So he's simping on her and watching her get, he's kind of like, this guy grew up to be the reason there's a chair in the corner of hotel room. Just saying, he would probably buy Glazer a pair of nice Nikes and make him a sandwich after he was done plowing his wife. But no,
I feel they shot that weird. Did anyone feel that was shot very weird? Because he's clearly behind you. Like it's not even like normally that would be shot with him walking, then you'd cut, and then you'd see the guy following, and then you couldn't perceive how far. But they have a one shot, like a one single take, and you're like he's right there. He's like where my shirt is. It's like what you can't tell the guy's right there, like that. And he's like, oh, hiding behind. It's like, oh look, I'm hiding behind this, and it's like, well, I mean, you're right there. That was weird.
You can't see me.
That's
the rules.
Wait a second. To be fair, Glazer was like all in his head. He was just like pussy.
Right.
That's like literally what was in his head. I mean, and Alfred was just like, he was back there and he was like this. He was just like, I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Oh my god. The budget of this stream is higher than the budget of the film.
There, I'll make it
quality.
Wow.
There we go. Okay, so I think I can put the gloves on. I got my Scarlet O'Hara regular hair. Look, Ma, no hands.
Oh, that's cool.
But great. So I'm done. I'm done with the prop comedy for the night. I promise. I'm done with the prop comedy for the night. There we go. Okay. Yeah. That was a birthday present. I got the gloves and the green screen hood, which I'm gonna start. I got some stuff planned for those. But okay, they're good. All right. So where are we at here before I went off on that? Okay. So we've got to build the raft. We have to build a raft here. And at this point, I was like, previously on Lost. But so
except they know where the script's going in this movie. But anyway,
yeah. There's I did not have to turn the wheel on the island.
I didn't watch Lost, but
I unapologetically love that show. I've seen it through like probably 4 or 5 times. My old logo was like the Dharma Initiative logo. That like the entire like channel theme was like the Lost theme. But I was a Lost mark. So they leave Eddie and 4 others. They leave on the crudely constructed raft, heading for the main camp. And one of them got thrown off the raft after they called Jim. And no, I'm just kidding. It was going to be a soft. I'm just kidding, folks. I'm just kidding. That's only on the gaming streams. So they find the canoe. Floating in the river, just majestically sitting there. And I saw the canoe and I'm like, don't fucking do it. Don't do it. But outside of the Italian, all of them on the raft are white. So what are they going to do? They're going to go right into the fucking trouble. So they paddle in and they find the canoe and they're like, hey, grab it. And up pops Cropsy. And you see throats and heads and Eddie's death scene. Holy fucking Kevin Bacon death, Batman.
Yeah.
It's Mr. He looked like Mr. Ralph Debney there. The fucking elongated man with his fucking neck. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, that was very, very low budget, but I appreciate the effort that went into that because it was like Mr. Meeseeks. Ooh, he's trying to make that look good. You know, it was like, I appreciate what they did with the budget. You know what I mean?
For sure. And you don't see mass slashings for sure up until that point, 100%. It's usually stalk, kill, hide, kill. Not like like 4 or 5 in one go, and they're stuck on that raft.
Yeah,
it's shot the best. Like, I mean, they did the best possible. That scene kind of won me over when I had first seen this film, because I saw it way after the 80s. Like, I missed this one, and I saw it when I was like maybe 25 or something like that. And it was like, oh, how did I miss this movie? And then I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. And then that mass, like, just taking out 4 or 5 people at once is pretty cool. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've seen that really in any of the other kind of slashers, right? Like, you want to get like kill to time ratio. I think Friday the 13th Part 5 is my favorite time to kill. Like, it's like 6-7 minutes, and then and then 6-7 minutes. Oh, right. This was like a little bit to get you wet your whistle, and then it was like an hour. There's literally like at least maybe, I don't know, 49 minutes where like there's nothing. And then they're like, okay, we got Tom today. Tom, you're in tonight? You're coming tomorrow? Let's do them all right now and just like nail the crap out of everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. Broad daylight.
Yeah, like
he takes out all the only ones I felt bad for the one girl with the brown hair. I'm like, oh, that poor sweet child didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, she didn't.
Like, this poor kid has just been in the background trying to have fun at summer camp, going on a fucking canoe trip, and all of a sudden up comes Cropsy and fucking cuts her head. Just like flap. Like, I just, god damn, that scene was brutal though. It was too. That was fucking think about it. Like, even in the Friday the 13th franchise, the paintball kill is, I think, the biggest in one shot with the triple beheading. That's the biggest group murder in any of those movies. Outside, and I'm not counting the Jason versus Freddy cornfield scene. That notwithstanding.
Oh yeah, this is 81. I mean, 1981. It's difficult. I don't know who's seen it. Like, I don't think none of us saw it in 81, I'm assuming, or whatever, right? Like, no, okay.
No.
So I saw it way later. So I saw it maybe like 25 years ago or something or whatever, right? And like, I was like, holy shit. And I have this ability to like place myself in the exact time period and be the exact target audience of that time period. I was like, holy crap. Had I seen that in time with, like, if you're seeing Friday 13th, 1 and 2, Halloween, that you'd be like, whoa, this is pretty crazy. Like, that scene's insane. I'm surprised there's no Burning 2. But in any case, it just didn't. Friday 13th is too powerful. It was just too, and Halloween as well. They're just too powerful for anyone else. Like, what was it? The horror show with Brian James. That's another cool random one that, again, feels like there should have been more to that. Like, there's a lot of these one-off movies where, like, how come they never made a sequel? Well, Jason, why is Jason, Freddy, and Michael Myers the big guys, right? Because that's the reason. But anyway, Mass Killing was cool.
Yeah, Brian James, off topic real quick, he's a fucking great character actor, and he always played an awesome villain. I loved him in The Fifth Element. Like,
oh yeah,
he was fucking great in The Fifth Element.
He was great in that, yes. Well, Blade Runner, he's the guy doing the interview right in the beginning in Blade Runner, and you're like, well, this guy is insane or whatever. But
I haven't seen the original Blade Runner in probably 20 years. I need to rewatch that.
There's like 5 versions of it, so have fun. You can roll a dice and fucking pick the one you want to watch.
Decipher it.
Like,
so they get murdered on the raft, and Cropsy kills all of them.
I like the part when he cuts Woodstock's fingers.
Yes!
That was great graphics.
Yeah.
I mean, special effects.
And it's all practical too, which makes it so much better. It's like it's like, yep, Tom Savini was like, okay, I got it. Here's what we're going to do.
He's like, I got this.
Here's what we're going to do. Trust me, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to look great.
Yeah.
And that's the saving grace of this, is a lot of, like, when he killed Karen, like, they showed a little bit, but it was the way the blood was kind of running down her shirt, and just the white and the red, the contrast. And it came across really well in that respect. That's one of the things that I really liked about this, is they did take, for a low budget movie, they made some really cool death scenes here. And that was one of the best things about this. So next we go, Todd and Michelle, they get busy. They get busy. And while they're getting busy, we get a little chef because it's you and me and simultaneous Glazer bust in like 30 seconds. And then, you know, she kind of, you know, that was it. I'm just like, oh, dude, you waited so long for this. You almost Weinsteined her. She finally relented because she wanted to part in the movie. She was willing to wear the red lipstick on film doll, and here we are. You fucking bust in 30 seconds. That was fucking funny. What up, Beelzebub? It's fucking odd. I was today years old when I saw this for the first time. So this was one, and I'm gonna rewatch it so I can
years ago.
See. I've never seen this one. I've heard of it, and I'm gonna actually sit through it again and just watch it so I don't have to write notes this time. So he busts and he decides he's gonna get ready for round 2. He's like, I'm gonna go get some matches. I'm gonna build us a fire.
Well, I
Eat a sandwich.
I like when Sally goes, "That's all."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
babe.
and
Don't
then-
worry. Next time.
I'll get you next one. I got you on the next one, baby.
I'll come back and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Them non-lubricated condoms, girl, I'm gonna wear that ass out. Hey, fucking. So he leaves, and we get Cropsy Vision, and she dies. And I said, this is kind of a Friday the 13th Part 5 manner that they would imitate. Danny Steinman would imitate years later with the Kill in the Woods. And so that was fucking. I dug that kill.
That was good
with her.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't know. I'd love to find out for sure if that's a thing. If they were like, hey, remember the burning, that scene in the woods? And the actor and actress in the Friday the 13th Part 5, J-Man, I think we talked about this. They were actually dating, and then they broke up and they had to shoot this scene.
Right.
And Steinman wanted them to literally they want him to fuck. And they were like, well, we're not comfortable with
grab her
this.
tits, grab her pussy, come on, fuck her.
Yeah, and
Make it look
they're
real.
like, yeah, they're both like, but he was directing porn before that, so he's like,
yeah, it's true.
do it.
Well, they just didn't appreciate art, those two actors. So you know what? If you don't appreciate an art movie, then that's fine. You can just go ahead and pretend to do it then.
Just simulate it like some rank fucking amateurs.
Go ahead. See if you ever work in this town again.
Yeah. Fine. Go ahead. Fuck up the shot. Fine. So Glazer steals the matches, and Alfred, the creepy little bastard, sees him and follows him back to Sally. And then Glazer, upon trying to awaken Sally from her slumber, which unbeknownst to him, she was fucking dead, he gets a shear through the throat, and then Cropsy goes full on Michael Myers and just picks him up and walks him 10 yards and then slams him into the tree.
Michael did.
Michael picked up Homeboy and put him right into the cupboard. Like, this dude's like, no, we're going for a ride, and picked him up and walked him. That's
it was radioactive fire, and he got super strength. That's how that. They didn't mention the movie. It was in the commentary. It was actually radioactive, and then that's why
he got bit by a radioactive fire.
It's like, I mean, that's a lot of strength, but that looked really cool, though.
It did. The way it was shot was fucking
cool.
neat.
Yeah, that was really nice.
They kept going back to his feet dangling a couple times, and yeah. So
did you catch when he was killing? When he was killing him, did you catch how Alfred kind of smirked at first?
Yes.
That was weird.
Well, I mean, he was bullied, but at the same time, that was weird. He's
yeah.
He just got that weird mouth twitch thing going as this weird. I don't know if it's the actor. He's a good actor. If all this is intentional, that's very good because it's very subtle. And I did not pick that up. And I've scrutinized this movie a bunch of times. But yeah,
it reminds me of that scene with them at the the restaurant in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's the vibe I got when I saw his face.
Yeah.
Alfred is Corey Cunningham's dad, confirmed. He is. He's like a little serial killer in training. Like I think, I seriously think Cropsy would have like trained him to be a serial killer had Todd not fucked everything up. But Todd finds Glazer, and then you get the Todd fake out death because he takes one to the head,
Right.
and you kind of figure there's like this is the main guy. He's not gonna go down that quickly. It's not what was his name? Rob in Friday the 13th 4.
4.
Yeah, Rob Dyer.
Yeah.
He's killing me! Oh God!
He's killing
me! He's killing me! Like, it was like what a waste of a character. Like I love that movie, but that's like one of my main bones of contention with that is that fucking like character's death is like so anticlimactic for the way they kind of in a subtle way built him up because he's hunting Jason for his sister.
I skipped him at the convention and went to the Twins. I went to Kimberly. I literally walked by. I'm like, sorry, dude. It's like, and I went right to the Twins and I met the Twins. It's like because he sucks. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, they're expensive. I'm like, I'm not gonna get everybody. I'm like, sorry, dude. I gotta skip that. Like, you didn't do anything in this movie, really.
You got killed.
Yeah.
You had plenty of scenes, but then you got killed, and it was also like fucking off camera too. Just all you saw was him just getting what was coming. He's killing me.
He's killing me.
I hope you didn't forget, but he's killing me.
What I've learned, in case you forgot. So Alfred is being pursued in Cropsy Vision. And wait, Todd. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I got to go back. Todd ain't dead, yo. But the raft that comes floating in like the Demeter with all the corpses on it. There you go. Comes floating in, and then Michelle goes to investigate and finds. Oh, that's great. She pulls the fucking arm off, and you get that fade to red. Scene that kind of it fades. I thought that was really cool. The raft of death, and Jason Alexander sitting there cracking jokes. I was like, damn it, George. All the Van Buren boys are dead.
Come on, guys. Jokes
Jason Alexander can come back. He makes it through. They could bring him back right now. That would be absolutely genius if they could do that and bring him back right now.
Yep.
Or like the long awaited sequel or something.
The Burning. I swear to God they referenced The Burning in Seinfeld. I swear to God there's a reference in there. I should know that, but I need to look back and find it. Let's see. So Alfred, now we got Todd ain't dead, yo. Alfred's being pursued in Cropsy Vision. Michelle has reloaded the raft with the live bodies of the these are minus Jason Alexander. This is pretty much our D-list characters, which have other than Tiger have had really no lines. So they're going back to camp, and Todd has procured the axe, and he is going to try to find Alfred. And Michelle gets back with everybody, and what's his name? Jeff, the guy there. He thinks she's like joking around,
right? And
Cropsy catches Alfred at this point and takes him into the warehouse or that little building, that ramshackled old like foundation. There's actually
looked like a mining area because there was carts
right
in it too.
Yeah,
there's carts.
It was weird.
Yeah, the mining carts. Yeah,
it was an old copper mill. I think
okay.
I think that's what it was.
Where was this supposed to be set? Like, did they ever?
I don't know. There's many settings like in the city, but that part at the end is awesome. Like that entire area, I don't like is like you're like, whoa, typically it's just a forest chase, right? But this is like you're in this weird ruins. You're like, what the hell's going on here? It's like the Tombs of the Blind Dead or something. It's like, what is in this?
I know. I was like, are we gonna see some kind of like satanic symbols and stuff?
Yeah,
right.
like
this is where the cults meet up. And
I don't know if it was Cropsy's. It didn't seem like he was his lair. I don't think he really had a lair. He was just roaming around and then happened to go in there, and then Todd is after him with the axe. And then you've got this weird like chase back forth with different weapons too, because then they grab other like well you can get to we'll get there, but like yeah, he's using other things too.
Yeah. And fucking we got the chase scene, and Michelle and Jeff are on their way back, and they allude to the police are on their way in a helicopter. All right. So Cropsy's got Alfred, and then you get the fight, the little fight. Cropsy has a fucking flamethrower. This motherfucker is just like, no, cuz I'm done with these shears. I went straight to the heavy. He didn't even get a handgun. He got a flamethrower. Like, yeah. What are you doing? I'm watering my terrorists.
I will kill you with what killed me, basically.
Right? Like, yeah. I thought that was kind of pretty. That was a neat touch.
Yeah, the shears were in his arm, right? He
had him pinned to the wall by the shears over his arm.
That was neat.
Yeah,
that was. Yeah, that's how he held him there. Because he like gagged him so he couldn't scream, because Todd was looking all over the place for him. You're like, is Todd gonna make it? Is this creepy little fucking Alfred prick gonna be the one that survives? You know? And lo and behold, Alfred fucking takes the shears and goes stone cold gangster and just stabs fucking Cropsy. It was like, hey, I'm gonna stab this motherfucker. And Alfred, he stabbed him, and then Todd axes Cropsy a question right to the 5 head, right to the bubble gum, and pins him to the wall. And then for the second time before he dies, Cropsy gets fucking lit on fire to add insult to injury. I think is exactly what I said. To add insult to fucking injury, they burn Cropsy again. And with an axe in his head stuck, and they just linger on that shot of him burning. And
the burning.
And that is the burning. I enjoyed it. I did. It was it was a fun, like cheesy but schlock, good effects, and that it was. I did. I enjoyed it. What did I text you earlier, Trina? What did I message you? What did I say?
Fucking Costanza.
Yeah, that's as soon as I saw George, I just messaged her. I was like, fucking Costanza, because he started into his riff like early on in the movie. It's like right from the go, he's the comedy guy. And yeah, he survived. So I'm waiting for the Burning 2, starring if I actually could follow Jason Alexander on Twitter, I would, but I had to unfollow him a long time ago. It's one of those things where it's like you shouldn't follow, people who you watch their material a long time ago, and you find them on Twitter and you're like, oh, awesome. Oh God.
Yeah, I follow no one except for like people like that. No celebrities. Like, as I'm like, oh God, I don't want to not like the person.
I follow Bruce Campbell. I can't help it.
I think I followed him for a while, and then I don't think he did anything weird, but
no, he never tweet. He never does anything like controversial or anything. He just talks about. He's just normal.
Yeah,
he's just Bruce.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll refollow him then. I just unfollowed everybody. The first person I followed on Twitter when I got it was Bruce Campbell, and then I just went through and unfollowed everybody who's like just in case.
Yeah.
Close.
Could be
Ariel, the Bullet Ballet. The Burning. Is it about a guy getting a burning sensation as they pee? Well, I'm sure Glazer probably had that at one point, or Eddie. I'm sure they've been burning and had to go to the clinic before. Let's score this thing on we'll go a 1 to 5. Trina, is that good for you? A 1 to 5?
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Okay. We'll let the guests go first. J-Man, what are you on a 1 to 5? What do you give it?
Oh, I haven't done my system on it, but I guess I'll give it a 4. I would take away from the ratio of kills to screen time, because I do feel there should be more, but there is a big payoff when you wait. And it was one of the times where I wasn't bored waiting for the kills. So there is that. I think the characters were pretty good and relatable, and somewhat felt more real because they were doing a lot of antics and it wasn't so one-sided. I like that. I think Cropsy looked cool for sure, like in the coat and everything, and like his face when he's revealed, he looked really cool. I like the weapon of choice, a little bit different. It's not, it's not a knife or whatever. I definitely like the axe to the head at the end. That was cool. I kind of think it's interesting that the guys who did the burning all survived, Todd included, and the creepy kid ended up being like the savior, sort of. There's a final girl. We didn't really have that. And the raft scene was pretty killer. So yeah, I think I get it's like 4 out of 5.
Okay.
That's makes a lot of good points, but personally, I'm gonna give it like a 3.5 because, like, once again, like you said, it needs more kills. The scenes that we did get with the kills were pretty gnarly. We didn't get a final girl either, and also, as you mentioned, the two guys who did what they did to Cropsy still survived. And also, earlier, me and Tyler were talking about that. I was like, I wonder if he's going to mention the axe sound effect that
I was going to say,
because he liked the one in Madman.
Yeah, because the last live stream you did, you were talking about, I love the sound of like the axe.
I'm sorry.
Hitting heads.
Yes, that did when Todd's. That is one thing that is the sound effects with that, because it's got it. If it looks good and it doesn't sound right, it could really fuck up the effect. And it does. It can throw you off. It's like a person making like a bad sound effect. Like there's a bad scream effect when they die. Kind of like, let me play this one. The Hiram scream from Blood Salvage. Play it. Yeah, that one. The Hiram scream, like it's got to sound good. And the axe, it sounded fucking, it's like cracking into a watermelon. It sounded fucking, it sounded perfect
to it.
Yeah. A little bass at the back end of it when it hit. It's nice. It was nice. All right, sorry.
I do also wish that the final like battle between the two like would have lasted a little bit longer. Would have been interesting to see them do some more stuff. I don't see the reason why Cropsy couldn't run, especially when he had the flamethrower.
Right? How long was his cord on that thing?
Yeah, that was weird. It just like runs out. You're like, oh.
Yeah, does he have a tank? He didn't have it wasn't like one of the the World War II ones. He didn't have like a backpack one. It was like the dreadnoughts and G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
he kind of looked like Nemesis from Resident Evil there, like with the face and then also like the flamethrower.
So Nemesis looks like him because he's I'm pretty sure he's before that.
Yeah, he is. Well, I mean, actually, I don't know when the game came out, but I know when the movie did Nemesis.
I don't think it's that old.
No.
How about you, Jason? What would you rate it?
Well, I just watched this movie yesterday for the first time ever, and
Nice.
but for being the first time ever seeing it, I'd probably have to say being like a cheap 80s movie, I'd probably say a 4, just because it was actually well done for it being that time era for a horror movie.
I showed him that, and then I showed him Hatchet.
Yeah, that was a big change.
Nice.
Yes, we have to do those. Yeah,
we're going to. I need to watch those. I have not seen those yet.
Do you need me to loan you my copies?
That would be fantastic.
All right, message me the ones you need me to loan. Oh, I own them all on Blu-ray, so I'm good.
Okay.
I like Hatchet 3 the best. I don't know why. I thought 3 was the best, but anyways.
The one with the soldiers in the swamp area.
Yeah, Danielle Harris. She takes over in part 2, right? And then for the girl, they switch actresses to Danielle Harris, and then I think
in part 2, it's
and then 3 is where she starts off in the jail. I think I like that one the best. Yeah. Anyway,
what did you get? Okay, so let's see. Wait, Tyler, what did you give it?
I gave it a 3.5.
3.5. Okay, sorry, I'm writing everything. I'm cataloging here. All right, Trina, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tyler. I'm gonna say 3.5. It was so. What takes away from it for me was that lag. That 40 like that almost an hour lag.
Mm-hmm.
That was a minus for me. And then that scene where he's like in the city and picks up the prostitute that was like had absolutely no reason to be in the film. And yeah, I think that a couple of things could have been a little bit better, like I think the fight scene at the end, that the final scene, that could have been a little longer, maybe make the canoe show a little bit shorter, just kind of switch things around. But yeah, overall I did enjoy it, and I would definitely watch it again. I didn't love it, but so yeah, that's why I'm giving it a 3.5.
Okay. All right.
And you know what sucks about when we watched it is because during that 1 hour burn time of just nothing happening, we had to keep watching ads. So adding on to that hour, just like Neutrogena. It's like,
oh, okay. So you must have watched it on Tubi then.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, I watched The Burning. These motherfuckers got me thinking about skincare. Shit.
That was great ad placement.
That is. That's fantastic.
That's actually good.
If you don't want to look like Victor Crowley, wash your face with Neutrogena soap. Prevents bubblegum head.
Get rid of the burned skin smell with Febreze.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
maybe he's born with it. Maybe
no, he's born with it. He was
born with it. All right. So on this one, there's that hour of just dead space. Just it's camp goings-ons and things, stuff and things, and it's just it's not terrible, but it's, again, that time could have been spent elsewhere. You could have moved the kills up a little bit and added more, because I think there was, including Cropsey, like 10 in the entire movie, something like that, around there, like 9 or 10.
That's about the same as Friday One. Friday One has like 9, I think, something like that. Yeah. So it's not totally like low rent as far as kills go. And the ones you do get quality in the raft scene does really shine. It stands out. Yeah, the final conflict, there could have been so much more done with the denouement, as it were. But it was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I was today years old when I saw this movie for the very first time. And yeah, little Etep was 1 year old when this came out. So yeah, I hadn't never seen it before, but being a child of the 80s, there's a lot of recognizable, things in there that it's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll watch it again, like I said, because I want to be able to watch it and not have to take notes and just watch it, because I know there's a few scenes that I missed because I was writing, because I didn't have time to pause it every time I was taking notes, and I wrote 5 fucking pages on this, which is probably more than the script of the actual movie. But I overall, I would give this one, I'm gonna go 4 out of 5. I'll go 4 out of 5 on it. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. The cheese factor's there. It's something that, like, you look at some of the scenes with, especially like the intimacy levels are very, very questionable, and borderline very like, if that's, and I'm very like, my humor is very dark, and I make a lot of, and it's even got me going like, damn, like, I'll joke about it, but I wouldn't put it in a movie these days. You know what I mean? Like, wow, let's face it. I would, but if I was going to, it would get cut out by the MPAA or, some fucking stick in the mud from standards and practices going, you shouldn't probably do that. I'm like, well, I want to set this character up to be a fucking scumbag. So yeah, I probably would do that. But no, I'll go 4 out of 5 on this. I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. And it's like I said, I'll watch it again. Absolutely.
I don't even think we ranked Madman like that. We just like finished talking about it.
We did. It was just like, we're done. We're done.
I haven't seen that in years, but I think I own it. I'd have to check my spreadsheet, but like, yeah.
So bad.
It was. I got that one. I borrowed that one from you that we got to watch. Madman.
Oh, I liked that. That was cool. That's Jenny Wright from Near Darken, and she's awesome.
I think I watched the trailer for that accidentally when I was looking for the Madman trailer. First, I'm like, is this the no, this can't be the movie we're watching. This is okay. And then it gets to okay, this isn't. But this looks good. Yeah, so you had that. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I know, J-Man, you can't stay much later.
Correct.
Right,
yes.
Right. Okay. Just you let me know when you've got to take off because I do have something I want to talk about a little bit here before you go because you're a Friday the 13th guy and I know Tyler is as well. Obviously, and Trina likes it just a little bit. Even though like I said, part 7 is her favorite one, which I'll let it slide. There's another angry wall of text. My phone is already vibrating. You have these things pre-written, Trina. Damn it.
If we're gonna talk about Friday the 13th, I've got a fun fact about this movie regarding that. So this movie was actually written before the first Friday the 13th movie.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened with it? That
I don't know. I really don't know.
They talk about it in the so I've got the collector's edition, whatever collector's blah 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 edition. They talk about it, so you can watch. Tom Savini talks about it. It was like it was kind of ready to go, and you can there's a commentary and stuff. So it's like it was kind of ready to go, and then it just didn't it didn't happen or whatever. It took a while, and who knows. What is this Scrap Friday 13 prequel series? Oh, would have featured hour-long chasing. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
This was going to be very, very Pamela Voorhees heavy. The entire first season was going to be Pamela Voorhees backstory. And J-Man, I wanted to get your thoughts on that. And what do you think of an hour-long chase scene in this? Now, I bet you there would have been flashback sequences, obviously
during the chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with anything. I'll watch anything, and I'll just buy it because I'm that idiot, and I'll just buy it anyways, right? Like, I want Friday 13th and Nightmare. Like, I want part 35 of whatever. People say, oh, there's too many. Someone says, it should have ended with final chapter. It's like, well, if it ended with final chapter, we wouldn't even be discussing it on a stream because it wouldn't be a big thing. No. Just like The Burning. Do you need an example of why sequels matter? I'll give you an example right now. How about The Burning? If there was 5 Burning movies, right? We'd have Cropsy toys. Your kid would be getting the Cropsy mask with the shears. Horror show. That's another one. Check that out. Brian James. Scarecrows. Check that one out. That Madman. There's all these characters. It's like they don't go anywhere. So you need this to build a franchise. So I'd be interested to see what they do. I'm skeptical of TV because how much, I guess you could show whatever you want, but I'm always nervous. Like, are they just doing it to extend it, or do they actually have something that they want to share with me and tell me as a story, or is it a Star Wars program where we need to put Star Wars on a product to make a product, right?
Yeah. See,
but yeah, why not? Hour-long chasing, that's cool.
I was cool with this, but I want to get everybody else's thoughts. Tyler, go ahead, bro.
Hour-long chasing. Oh man. As long as they can keep me completely glued to the screen, making sure that it's because Trina said her favorite Friday the 13th is part 7, and more than half of that movie is people just running around in the forest. So is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. It's just people just running around the forest. So I would honestly, I'd be interested to see what they could do with that, but at the same time, that would get stale pretty fast. But it's also what I'm hearing about that new movie, In a Violent Nature. It's you're seeing the killer walk for however long, kill and walk again. So I don't know, but anything that's Friday the 13th, I would be 100% for. The fact that we haven't gotten anything in so long still hurts.
15 years, bro. 15 years.
Wow, that seems incredible for such a high franchise. Wow, that's crazy.
15.
Fuck. Yeah. Since 2009. That's the last one, bro.
That makes me feel sick just thinking I remember watching that movie just yesterday for the first time in the theater, and it's been 15 years. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's crazy.
I was 29 years old when that fucking movie came out. I wasn't even with my wife yet at that point. I was still with Satan, my ex.
I was 9. Yeah. My mom was the cool one who would like, even if I wasn't like of age, she would get me into a lot of horror films because that's just our thing.
That's fucking awesome, though. See,
Oh yeah,
like I said, man, I remember going to see this in the theater. It was one of those ones that was like I went by myself because my ex hated horror, and I got all fucking baked, and I got my popcorn and my fucking soda, and it's like, all right, man, it's fun. And I was disappointed when I left the theater. I was like, I liked certain parts of it. Like the kills were gnarly, and what's his name that played Jason in this one?
Derek Mears.
Derek Mears.
Swamp Thing.
Dude is a fucking monster. Like he looked great. I just didn't like Jason living in underground tunnels and having a jail cell to keep Amanda Rigetti from the OC hostage in, because I was like, she was on the OC. What did she do to you, Jason? No. But that was like the thing. I was like, it was like a little too Leatherface for me. But the kills were cool, and Willa Ford showed her tits, which I'd been waiting for since 2001. I'm not gonna lie. And you got our iconic intro for our main event topic, which is Brie doing her dance, drinking wine. Which, goddamn, that actress is still fine. I looked for research purposes. I was like,
I think if you take, I was just gonna say, if you take the instinct away and make him more like focused and more, it's not Jason. That's the problem. Like he's too organized. Like he's planning things out, and he needs to be instinct. It's like just for nature instinct. He does things. He moves forward. He's constantly going towards a goal that even he doesn't know what it is. He just keeps killing. That's the only reason. As soon as you start having plans and, I want this girl, and like, who is this character? This isn't like the kills look good. He looks good. He had the bag bit and the mom. Yeah, Deep Space Nine, Akira as his mom. So that's kind of neat, but
that was it. It wasn't Jason.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like him.
Yep, it was just off slightly, and that was it. They sandwiched part 1 through 4 into that movie.
In one, it's 20 minutes.
It's like Lynch's Dune. It's 3 fucking books or 4 books in one movie, and you're like, you can't do this. It doesn't. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
So I was good with the Pamela Voorhees shit. What I didn't want, and the only reason I would trust one season of Pamela Voorhees is because I know that Brian Fuller did an amazing job with Hannibal. I watched that back in the day, and it was a fucking amazing show. Mads Mikkelsen was great. It was a fucking badass show.
Yeah.
But it's like I felt his what they're doing, and even if this is now, everybody's probably, it's dead now. What they're looking for, they said they're looking for a new showrunner, which whether that happens, and this was 2 months away, by all reports, 2 months away from shooting. Okay.
Wow.
So now you're looking like you've got to go all the way back to the fucking drawing board, because they obviously, now how did this make it all the way to this point? And they're like, we can't use any of this. This made it through all your checkpoints, all of the system that would approve this. It made it here, and now you're saying this isn't good. And this goes back to something in videos I did in November, when this news fucking broke about Brian Fuller having allegations of sexual misconduct against him on the set of Queer for Fear. And the allegations were levied by Sam Weinman, I think his name is, and they're both gay. And it was said that on set, Fuller acted and touched Weinman inappropriately, like cracking his back, and he grabbed him, and he would leave tissues from doing his gimmick in the office that they shared, with notes and shit. But nobody else substantiated these claims outside of Weinman against Fuller. Everybody else said Fuller went above and beyond and created a very professional work environment. So this leads me into believe now, as I look back and say, this is I don't want to be right, But this is one of those times where, I said I'm going to reserve any judgment until, but you haven't heard anything about it, right? But it just seems kind of funny that all these months later, this show gets fucking shit canned and Fuller's leaving, and this has been looming like a specter in the background. That this happens now. And I'm not insinuating that anything has been, there's no legal, there's been no decisions, no, formal charges have been filed. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I've tried to look on Fuller's Twitter and A24 and just look for anything news. I can't find anything about the allegations, the court case, anything. So I don't know. I'm not speculating. Anything I say right now is just, we're just talking this out. Because I'm, as a Friday the 13th fan, dude, this fucking kills me. Like, this was a gut punch. It was. And the fact that it's like, I don't, and this is the reason why I was okay with them using Pamela in season 1, was set it up, because if you're going to build a fucking house, they had 2 seasons guaranteed with an option for 4. If you're going to build a house, you need to lay the block work. The foundation needs to be solid. So fucking the Pamela story would have been fucking great. I really think they could have done great. And Adrian King was involved in this.
Yeah, I saw that.
And yeah, I got her to, I asked her on Instagram, I was like, are you still involved in this? And she was like, I hope so. I was like, I got it.
Yeah,
I got an
that,
answer from the fucking Scream Queen, Adrian King, man. That made me feel good. But I like her. She seems like a very genuine and sweet woman. And I really wanted her to play fucking Pamela Voorhees. That would have
been amazing.
That was my hope, was that they were going to bring her back to play Pamela, because she lines up. She looks like her at this point. She looks like kind of like that Betsy Palmer-esque kind of look. And that unassuming, non-threatening kind of older, like grandmotherly type. And I think that would have been fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, there probably would have been less tampering for Friday the 13th than there would be for these superhero movies, and Star Wars, which gets ruined through a lot of interference and stuff. And they probably would have allowed him to really tell the story. And maybe it would have been good. It would have been more content for Friday 13th, good or bad, I guess. I mean, it's not going to be as bad as some of the worst Friday 13th movies. So, it's probably it probably would have been kind of cool. It's crazy. I don't understand. There's a book. I'll give this recommendation, and then I gotta head out. There's a book that I have. I don't know if Fangoria published it, but it seems like they would have. It's a magazine about how the making of Freddy versus Jason. It's absolutely great reading, because
I have that right behind me.
You have it? Okay.
Yeah.
And like there was going to be a court case, like they're going to do it as a court. Then they're going to have them fighting in a ring at one point, and then they're saying, "Oh, why don't we do something where there's this cult of Freddy worshippers?" It's like, guys, I want F and Freddy and F and Jason fighting. Like, I don't understand. Freddy kills a bunch of people in their dreams. Jason kills a bunch of dumb teens at a party or whatever. Then they fight each other. This is not difficult. And of course, they get the Chinese guy who made Bride with the White Hair and Bride Chucky, 2 Bride movies. Ronnie, and he makes, and he literally is like, you got the book. He literally says, like, I just watched all the Friday the 13th movies, wrote notes, watched all the Nightmare movies, wrote notes, and then he goes, oh, I see what I have to do, and then he made it. So I don't understand why it's so difficult to make these properties. Like, Friday the 13th is the easiest. Anyone here can make this movie. Come on.
One day, because it's probably never going to get finished, we'll do it on air. I'll read through my script that I have. We'll read through it. I have the beginning and the end.
Awesome.
I'm working on the middle. And we'll just read through it on the air, because it'll probably never get made, because I don't have the fucking time. So yeah.
Publish it. No, you can't use Friday 13th. I was gonna say you could publish it through Amazon, but no, you can't use Friday 13th. You won't be able to use that. Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll just turn it in. I could just turn it into a generic slasher and
call it Jackson, like in Unmasked Part 25. There's a movie called Unmasked Part 25, and the guy wears a hockey mask and he calls himself Jackson. There's no Part 1 to 24. It's just part 25.
It's like
Jackson.
It's like Leonard Part 6.
Yeah, there's no 1 through 4, 5 or that. But I gotta head out.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you, J-Man. It's been fun.
Anytime, any horror movie, let me know, and I can pop in anytime.
It
Great
was great having a
seeing.
conversation with you,
Great.
man.
Yeah,
All right,
great.
thank you.
Great streaming with you, J-Man.
I appreciate it.
bro.
Thanks, Trina. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Jason. All right, guys.
See you, brother.
Night.
And you were talking about an hour-long chase scene, and I was gonna go Vince Russo again. I'd be like, bro, an hour-long chase scene, bro. You can do it, and it works, bro. Look at Never Hike Alone 1. That entire movie is a one-on-one chase scene, and it worked, bro. It worked.
It did surprisingly very well, actually, and actually that was kind of something that they did in part 2 as well. But they took Jason even further. They took him where none of the movies have taken him yet.
Dude, the second one of that with and I remember his name now because we just talked about Shocker, Vincent Gustafaro, that played Deputy Rick. Wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
You bang.
Playing the sheriff in this was fucking awesome. His death, he went out like a fucking G. His head getting fucking crushed, like that shit was wicked. God damn. The guys from Womp Stomp, this is if Sean Cunningham wasn't such a fucking prick, and he is this guy. I mean, listen, this shit, it's hurting the fans. Like, this fucking IP has a huge fucking following, dude. Like, I didn't just tattoo a fucking hockey mask on my arm because I'm a casual fucking Friday the 13th fan. I waited this long in my life to get a tattoo. I got a microphone and a fucking hockey mask because I every fucking day this is on my fucking, I love this fucking IP. I do. And it's like I said, 15 fucking years. And the guys from Womp Stomp have helped fill that fucking void with, they've got a trilogy. They've got Never Hike Alone 1 and 2 and Never Hike in the Snow, which is fucking another good one. We've never gotten Jason in the Snow. And again, knocked it out of the fucking park. Like, I mean, they should give them the fucking show. You want showrunners? You know what? Why the fuck not? Look what they did with a minimal budget on nonprofit fucking fan films. Look what they were able to accomplish, both creatively, in sticking and paying homage to the franchise and moving it into the next generation, which like I said, mine is in the 80s, but they did it fucking, and it worked. It worked.
Absolutely.
Something that I don't, it's like, if that's not done right, it doesn't work. And they made it fucking work.
They made it work. And also they got it done. Like, I think the first 2 times, but I think everyone was working like just 9 to 5 fucking jobs and then saving up, and then they fucking nailed it every time.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting to see what he does next.
Because
I think he said that part 2, was supposed to be the last Never Hike. I don't know. Maybe he can make his own original character. That'd be pretty interesting.
That with the creative vision they have, I could see that working out well. I mean, look at I've never seen them, but the success of like the Hatchet movies. Look at Art the Clown and Terrifier. Huge. Hasn't really been around, what, less than 10 years? Is it?
So the first one, I got it wrong in the last stream. The first one came out in 2016. So So I mean, no, not been that long yet, and it's fucking everywhere.
Yep. And so these original IPs, they can work. There's fans out there that are hungry for this kind of stuff. And so it's like, if we can't get the Friday the 13th, focus those energies and channel that creativity elsewhere, and look what you can do. You've got this other stuff that's dope, and people are gonna they're gonna spend money. You're gonna draw money. I always talk about this with money. With wrestling is like, what can draw money? And it's the same thing with horror. What's gonna put asses in the seats? What's gonna get people spending money on shirts and fucking figures and masks and fucking toys and anything else under the sun, coffee mugs, whatever, fucking cups, shit like, yeah, exactly.
Shirts.
There's
everything.
Everything. this is, like I said, I have a bust of Leatherface. I mean, it's just shit like that, stuff like that. That's what gets people to spend money. So if it's like I hate to quote a sports movie again, but Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come, so just there's creative people left in fucking Hollywood. And it's not even in Hollywood, the independents, man. Like I said, if I was Sean Cunningham, and I think he holds the cinematic rights as a result of the lawsuit is the way it worked. And Victor Miller and his attorney, Mark Toberoff, they've got all the TV rights and they can use anything from the entire franchise. They just can't make a movie. Cunningham can make a movie. Hire the fucking Womp Stomp guys, dude. Hire them. All he's got to do is executive produce. I mean, seriously. You know what they can do. You see what they can do. Why the fuck not? That is a license to print money. It is. Right now, if you deliver a Friday the 13th movie that can surpass the 2009 one, and I truly, and I'm not long stroking them, but I feel like the Womp Stomp guys they can do that. They've proven it. They've proven it already.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. And there's also like there's other like people out there doing like the same thing. Like there's Womp Stomp that did the Friday the 13th fan films, and then there's the people who did Dylan's New Nightmare. There's been so many people who did like Halloween ones. There's like so many options that they have, and I would be lying if I said I'd never written my own fucking Jason fan film because I got nothing right now. Oh, did you have to
Oh, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Did you have to say something?
No, I'm good.
Okay, just make sure.
All right. Trina, you can add in at any time.
Oh no, this is a great conversation. No, I totally agree with you guys. I would love to see a Halloween series show.
Well, that's in the works with Miramax.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the TV rights now.
Yeah.
So
But do you think they'll get the axe as soon as Friday the 13th did though? And as many times as they've gotten it.
That's what I'm worried about.
That's what scares me are we being honey-dicked? Are we being honey-dicked right here? Because I mean, dude, I have been doing videos on this fucking show, the Crystal Lake show, for 2 years now. I've been so goddamn excited about this. I mean, it's an iconic fucking franchise. So you've got the opportunity, and then so I don't want to see that hat with Halloween, because look, the last 5 Halloween movies. Listen to me, player. The last 5 Halloween movies, and Rob Zombie. Okay. I've paid a lot of money going back to your concerts and your movies, man. Your Halloween movies, bro. Fuck you. And David Gordon Green, fuck you too.
And Danny McBride,
fuck you too, Danny. You can go eastbound and down on yourself. I'll say it like I did as Cleveland in the one review. And Danny McBride, you son of a bitch, I hope you have your ribs removed like Merlin Manson and go eastbound and down on yourself, you cracker. Oh my God. No.
They've achieved it so far. Like they did Scream, and that got some kind of like traction to it, which brought more movies. They did it with Chucky. Another big one. Don't know about any movies, but the show has been pretty damn successful. So why the fuck not? Like seriously. Yeah. There's so much they could do. I think it'd be really interesting to see Nightmare on Elm Street actually become a series. Personally. There's so much.
Yeah.
Okay, but the $1 million question, and you already know what it is, who the hell do you have replace Robert Englund?
Oh, I know.
I mean, we tried it with Jackie Earle Haley, and that dude's a good actor. Like I said, I don't hate him. I don't like that movie. I don't like it. I don't. I never will.
Yeah, I don't either.
I never will.
It's absolute blasphemy.
Exactly. Me and Trina are just like, but we liked it. I don't know. Did you see that one yet?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. I've only seen the originals.
I've seen it twice, and then I remember my mother-in-law. She knows I love horror. She got me a tee. She got me the fucking. I was like, oh, cool, Nightmare. Now,
It's that bad for you. It's like, God damn it.
Aw.
I
mean,
worn
it's
it,
kind
though.
of.
I've worn it. It's fine. It's a t-shirt. I'll wear it. But I was like, oh, damn it, it's not Robert Englund. But I met Robert Englund at a convention, so that was nice. Very, 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 very warm man. Seems very cool. I would have really liked to have done cocaine off the blade of his Freddy knife with him, though. Like Dokken got to back in the day. That would have been fun. Not that I endorse that, YouTube. I'm hypothetically saying in Minecraft, if my character was hanging out with Freddy Krueger and Freddy was like, hey, you want to do some blow? I'd be like, all right, whatever, Freddy. No, just don't kill me. Yeah. But
yeah, absolutely.
You'd have someone to play Freddy would have to have that line delivery, those one-liners like Freddy had, and Rob Englund just absolutely nailed that. I don't know who else can do that currently. Can you think of an actor?
That conversation a lot. Like we're always just like tossing names around, like the ones that people say, like I've heard someone say Devon Sawa, and I'm like, I don't see that. And there's Kevin Bacon. There's fucking God. There's so many.
I have one, but he's older now, and it would have worked maybe 10 to 15 years ago, I think. Clancy Brown.
Mr. Krabs.
I think Clancy Brown would be an interesting choice. I think he could do it. I don't know. I stand by that. I guess I'll stand by that. I would say Clancy Brown because he's so versatile and he's played so many different fucking roles.
Yeah. Well, he was also in that remake of Nightmare.
He was.
What was he in the remake?
He was the principal. He was
Oh, okay.
Quentin's dad.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I got, he was in the new one. So, but I mean, him as Freddy, I'm like, I could kind of see the voice. His voice is fucking amazing. Like I was watching Gargoyles the other day with my kid, and he plays a bunch of characters in there. So it's like, I fucking, and he was on Lost. Dude is he's money. I think he, maybe 15 years ago he could have done it possibly. But Kevin Bacon I heard you mention that. That's a fucking interesting one.
Especially like from roles like, oh man, like fucking Stir of Echoes and like think of like one of his more crazy ones.
Was he in Hollow Man?
Yeah,
he was in Hollow
Death
Man.
Sentence, like especially what he did with Death Sentence. I think he could make a good Freddy.
How about Ryan Reynolds?
No, he has too much Deadpool charisma. I mean, like, this is the money shot.
I think it would be hilarious.
It would be funny as fuck to see him do like a Fred pool, like.
Well, we are getting Deadpool with Wolverine.
Yeah. So, but no, I ain't going to see it.
No,
I don't know if I will either. I'll probably just wait for it to come out and see if I can catch it for free.
I'm not. They don't get my money. They don't get my money anymore. I took my kid to see Guardians 3 and my wife because we love the fucking Guardians movies. I own the soundtracks on vinyl and all that. But I can't do the Marvel thing anymore. I can't. I got called the famous my favorite word in the English language. I got called an incel the other day because I said something about there was an article there. They're cutting back on Marvel production and all this. I'm like, yay, they're slowing down the shit mill of turning out more homogenized garbage from something that died in 2019. And
Yeah.
they're just an incel. It's a I'm like, oh my God. No, that word lost. Your words have no power here. Your words have no power here.
That's exactly
Calling me
how. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say calling me an incel won't bring daddy back.
Damn. But that's
Never
how my
does.
brother is. Like compared to me, it's like exact opposites. He's like everything Marvel, and like I think he just picked up Madam Web, even despite how shitty it is, and Morbius. Like he collects all the new Marvel that's coming out.
I
And
went
then
to
there's,
see
like-
Morbius in the theater knowing it was going to be a dumpster fire, so I just got really fucked up before I went to see it. And me and my wife, it was like, all right, it was a weekend off. The kid was at Graham's. It's like, let's get fucking stoned and go watch this fucking movie. And it was fun watching because we knew it was shit. It was like, we knew it was going to be dog shit. And it was in, what's his name? Big Head, Doctor Who guy.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Right?
No. From Morbius, he was the bad guy.
Oh
in
shit.
there.
Fuck.
He's in the Game of Thrones House of Dragon show. Fuck, what is that big-headed motherfucker's name?
Can't remember. Let me look it up.
Draven's motherfucker me right now because the dude is like the best part of the whole movie. It's gonna piss me off. He's on Doctor Who. I never watched. I've seen 2
Matt
episodes.
Smith.
Matt fucking Smith. Thank you. Yeah, Matt Smith. He was like the best part of Morbius, doing his little fucking dance and shit. Like he was the best part of that goddamn movie. And their 90s PlayStation 2 video game fight, where they're pinging all over us like purple and orange. That was kind of cool too. But yeah, that movie was god awful. It was fucking hilarious. I remember going to see, here's one, and it was supposed to be, bring back to horror. It was supposed to be kind of a horror movie. Was that New Mutants? But they removed all the bullshit. Yeah, everybody's like, "What the fuck is New Mutants?" Yeah, it was supposed to come out in 2016. It didn't come out till 2020. They released it during fucking COVID. They're like, "Fuck this, throw it out there."
They did have a lot of movies.
That movie was fucking bad. Like, I watched that in the theater because like I paid $7 to go watch it at my local theater, and I was just like, "Oh my God, this is fucking."
That's what I do with a lot of movies that come out. Like, as much as I like to see movies when they first come out and they have to go to the more expensive theaters where I have to spend fucking $60 for some popcorn and some soda pop and a fucking movie. You call it 976 Evil yet?
We did a watch party for 976 Evil 2. What's up, Gap After Dark?
Have you heard about
We did that. Oh, have you ever seen 976 Evil?
I have.
I don't think I have.
He's not new to the horror genre. He's like been around like the more mainstream ones, and he's trying to branch out. So that's where I come in to help him, especially since he'll be moving in with me.
Yeah,
he's gonna get off work and we go, let's watch Blood Rage.
Like, shoot, we're gonna need to watch this now. Yeah, see, I grew up because the reason I got into horror was because of my grandfather. He showed me a bunch of stuff, so like I know a lot of movies, but like mostly stuff from older to like early to mid 2000s, and then that's kind of like really where I stayed at. So I'm behind on a lot of stuff, or just never really got interested in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, mine was like the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, and then like Poltergeist and The Shining and Shocker and like fucking stuff like that. Like, and then I got into like the offbeat was like Dr. Giggles in the 90s, which Larry Drake is the fucking man.
Yes, but like also that movie is like me and my mom like every now and then we'll do the Dr. Giggles like laugh because that's like because I dressed up as Dr. Giggles once as a kid because I did that for Halloween, and it's just oh man, you need to check out Dr. Giggles. I'd recommend that over like The Dentist because The Dentist makes me wince.
Oh yeah. I like those movies.
It's too much teeth horror for me, and I have to look away.
Yeah.
It's stuff with the eyes to me, man.
Yeah.
That I have nightmares about that shit. That is that that getting stabbed in the fucking eye is right up there with like being trapped underwater and being buried alive and heights for me. And snakes. Those are my like top 5 right there.
Dude,
It's like
the
my
Heights one.
personal hell right there. Yeah. But yeah, one of my favorite, and we did a watch party for it at one point. And I just reviewed it like nobody watched. It's such a fucking obscure horror movie. Is Blood Salvage, and it's a horror comedy from 1990. It's on YouTube. You can watch it free. I fucking love that movie, and you get an Evander Holyfield cameo. And it's funny. And that's where the Hiram scream came from on there. He's one of the characters, and the actor died of AIDS before the movie came out, which is fucking. It's fun, hilarious, because like the whole movie he spends calling the like the final girl. She's like in a wheelchair. He's like, "You fucking whore, you slut," and that's exactly how he talks. Like that's his voice. Like. That real exaggerated redneck voice, you fucking whore. Diddy likes you more than he likes me and Roy. And
That's funny because I heard of something recently. I don't remember where it was actually about that. It was someone talking about how he would talk like that and then how he died of AIDS before the movie came out.
There's another movie that happened with as well. There's been so many movies where someone has died before it came out. I think it was also that guy who was in The Devil's Rejects. That tall motherfucker.
Well, Brandon Lee also died before the movie came out.
Thank you for reminding me.
God damn it. I'm not going to see. We just did it. We did it like a Patreon commentary for The Crow, which I hadn't seen in years and years. And fuck, that movie's good.
I showed it to him for the first time.
I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the other ones yet, but
that was what, a month ago?
You don't
roughly?
need to.
It's been over a month.
I've seen all of them, and I like all of them.
Okay.
I'm the odd one out, and I'm going to go
okay.
see the new one.
All right, I was going to ask, is anybody going to Trina? I didn't think you were.
Hell no.
No.
Like it looks decent, the movie. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks decent, but it is weird that the Bill Skarsgård, however you say his name, he literally looks like the Suicide Squad Joker. Like,
yeah.
And it's
I
just weird.
I don't like the premise. I don't like how it's a brand new Eric Draven, and you know, the whole thing with Brandon Lee. It's just I feel like it's disrespectful. I can't give it the time of day.
The actress who played Sarah from the first one said the same thing. She said it was blasphemy, and it was just a fucking just talking shit on Brandon Lee's grave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they could have done another Crow movie and not have it be Eric Draven.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't have to name him fucking Eric Draven and Shelley.
Yeah,
I bet you they have a fucking villain in it named Tintin. I'm calling it now.
Are they gonna redo Top Dollar?
Oh fuck!
Are they who's gonna be the new Top Dollar?
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna be diverse and inclusive? Are we gonna go that route?
I haven't seen.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I thought that was Brad Pitt. I don't know why. I thought that was Brad Pitt the longest time.
I watched the trailer for the new one, and I was like, "What the fuck is Darby Allin doing out there? What is John Podesta?" So he looks like Chester Bennington. Who oddly looks like he was John Podesta. Never mind that. Notwithstanding, Trina sitting back there going, "God damn it, Vinny rubbed off on me." But no, I didn't think it looked good. And I watched the Eddie Furlong one. David Boreanaz is the saving grace in that movie. But I haven't seen it in years and years. That's like the sequels. I barely remember those. But yeah, the first one's fucking fantastic. We're gonna do Patreon watches for the rest of them. I'll suffer through the other three.
I seriously think you'll have a lot of fun with part 3. Like that is like super close to part 1 with me. Like for my favorites.
Okay.
And Eddie Furlong is. It's fun movie, okay? And he's not wrong. David Boreanaz is the fucking like glue that is holding that movie together, but it's not fun.
Yeah. Not by no, it's a very thin layer of Gorilla Glue, not unlike the one that one young lady put on her head, and well, you know what happened. She made money off stupidity, is what happened, folks. This is society today. But no, this is the point where we say thank you to everybody in the chat, Gap and Papa Cotton, the lovely Sherry, Ariel, the Bullet Ballet. Lurch, Slight Return, Beelzehub, what up, Devil? Vinnieart was here, Vinny, Keely Chow, and Frankie Knows, Godzillionaire, who dropped our Tuesday night Annoy Trina with Wrestling Talk, channel member for 25 months. Wow, that's insane. You've been good stuff. My editor extraordinaire. You've been, and Godzillionaire sent me the Ron Perlman bobblehead. Ron Gashman. So, Tyler, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find me at my channel, Tyler Wooten, and I talk about mainly things horror. I just put out a video of my Scream ranking, and I will be making another video of my horror rankings because it's something I wanted to do, and I contemplated doing it for the longest time because everyone else has done it. So yeah, I talk about horror, and eventually, very soon, I will start introducing metal as well because I'm very passionate about that. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
please subscribe.
Nice, man.
I'm homeless.
Subscribe to Tyler, or I'll stab you in the neck with a pair of pruning shears, everybody. And trust me, when it comes to the serial killer demic, well, I don't know. Are there many? Trina, I don't think there's many of us in the tribe that go on those kind of sprees. I don't think so. You don't hear many serial killers named like Leibowitz.
I know. That's a good point. I don't think so.
Well, outside of David Berkowitz. I mean,
yep, there was him.
Berkowitz. No, Trina's got a channel too, Real Horror.
Yep. I have a channel. It's there's some past live streams where we discuss, different horror movies, and I've got some NECA figure reviews up, mostly horror figures, and that's here on YouTube at Real Horror, REEL, and that's about it. It was a blast as always talking about these movies, and I hope everyone had fun. And it was awesome having you again, Tyler.
Absolutely.
And you as well, Jason.
So I have looked at your channel before, but I don't know if you've done it yet, but do you think you'll ever do a face reveal, Trina?
I will. Yep, I will.
And are you, I noticed this with your channel. I could just be, thinking outside the box, but you seem like you're really inspired by like the Review Spot. If you know who that is.
Oh yeah, I do know that channel. I did see some of his toy reviews, and that is how I came up with kind of like the background that I use for my toy reviews. And I'm looking to upgrade that as well. But you got it.
Sweet. I noticed the resemblance because I've watched all of her videos because after the first stream I just watched all of them. I would have watched all of Etep's, but he's got a lot. And are long.
Yeah.
Thank
you, dude.
Of course.
Trina's awesome. She deals with me every Tuesday night, and she has even more so than before. That we've been streaming together for a couple of years now. She's awesome to hang out with and to make her send me angry DMs. So thank you again, Trina, as always.
Tyler as well also has a channel, but it's completely different from what I do. So you want to talk about yours real quick?
Well, I only have one video up, and it was a review on a old Christmas decoration, and it's crappy, but I want to start making stuff eventually too, like reviews or just like how-to videos and fix-it videos of things, because I restore things.
Yeah, he's like a very vintage collector.
Yeah.
So, and we are thinking one day that we will have a podcast together because it just makes so much fucking sense, because this is almost neck and neck.
Yeah.
Just take away the ears.
That's
Hell yeah. Well,
awesome.
Tyler and Jason, thank you both for being here. Jason's great meeting you, dude.
Oh,
Tyler,
you too.
thank you, man. Tyler, it's a blast as always, bro.
Yeah.
We will have you back again, sir. And thank you to everybody in the chat, all our
Fingers
channel
crossed for
members.
drive-through. Oh my
Yes.
god!
Yes.
I emailed Etep about that, and I have the poster hanging up right now. And I showed it to him the other night, and we
Oh.
have been quoting it nonstop.
Yeah.
I'm like,
All right.
it's a gold mine.
The next time you come on, that's what we'll do then. That's what we'll do. And I'm good with that. We'll set up a date for that. Everybody, thank you so much. I will have a Raw review with SmackDown from last Friday out probably tomorrow afternoon. No streams the rest of the week. I'm gonna try to get back to doing Tales from the Crypt. It's been like 3 fucking months since I've done any of those. So yeah, I got to get, but I've got a couple more horror movies I need to do reviews of too, because yeah, we do horror and wrestling, and that's all we do here on the channel now. No more pop culture. I can't deal with it. But thank you everybody for being here. I'm Etep Wakuian from the Place to Be Reviews. We've been here with all you. We don't see you. Have a great day. Pleasant tomorrow. We will catch you on the next one. And remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away.